beat AFC Wimbledon. Dakka, 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 dakka. Yes, it's a 3-1 victory, 3-0 victory, I'm sorry. And ladies and gentlemen, the phone was ringing yesterday. Aaron Ramsey-esque goal. Unbelievable back heel. What a touch. Luis Suarez would be proud. Eddie Nketiah is here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, so here's a bigger thing. Eddie Nketiah tweeted out this cold image, colder than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, Eddie Nketiah's back heel was such a deft touch goal. He tweeted out, "Phone will never die, stronger than Nokia brick. Bring on the next round." All right, it is a stronger than Nokia brick. Oh my word, what a goal that was from Eddie and Nketiah. And Nuno Tavares was really overwhelmed with what he saw at the Emirates Stadium. The beautiful, more than 45,000 people were there to support their beloved team. So Nuno Tavares tweeted out, "I can say only thanks for the great support in the Emirates." Yes, that's what it was. It was an unbelievable bit of a performance. But more importantly, Arteta opened up about Eddie. He says there's been a lot of speculation around him, a lot of debate, but he's got his head down and trained harder than anyone else. He looks after himself and he supports all his teammates in any circumstance. So I am so happy for him. And also Emil Smith-Rowe shared this image. Of course he scored in that encounter, but more importantly it was Gabriel Martinelli who won the first penalty for Arsenal with a beautiful skill, and that was a really beautiful link-up play between him and Eddie Nketiah that led to Arsenal's first goal via a penalty kick from Alex Lacazette. But more importantly, Arteta opened up about Thomas Partey. He says he has not played a lot of minutes since being injured. We believe the rhythm of matches is nothing like any training session. I think it was very beneficial for him. We believe it was the right thing to do and he was really pushing for it. Also, Chris Wheatley also tweeted out that I'm told Thomas Partey asked to play tonight as he looks to fine-tune his match fitness ahead of Sunday's North London derby. That was a real untold mystery about Thomas Partey. But also, not only that, Ian Wright has actually made sure that Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard, that's a beautiful relationship blossoming between the two in the midfield. Well, what did Ian Wright say? He says, Partey coming back, Odegaard and Partey in that pivot, there is something beautiful about that. Something beautiful about it. That's all he said, and then, but whatever he meant really went into the heart. So a lot of Arsenal fans were actually waiting to see a magic of Charlie Coutinho yesterday against AFC Wimbledon. So Arteta has opened up after the game about how close Charlie was to being in the squad. He says, "Charlie was very close, but we decided as well that some players needed minutes and it will happen naturally in time." And Arteta on how he is impressed with Coutinho. He says, "Charlie has been good. He's trained more and more with us and played a practice game at Conley. He was really good. Again, give him time and we will prepare him." Of course. But moving on, let's talk about the Carabao Cup next round. Well, Carabao Cup fourth round draw has already been done. Chelsea meet Southampton, Arsenal meet Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United, Stoke meet Brentford, West Ham meet Manchester City, Leicester City meet Brighton, Burnley meet Tottenham, QPR meet Sunderland, Preston meet Liverpool. Those are the high stakes fourth round of the Carabao Cup encounters. Well, talking about more stuff, well, Bernd Leno looks like he is now the cup goalkeeper for Arsenal, exactly how he replaced Peter Cech on goal. Yes, Bernd Leno has been replaced by Aaron Ramsdale. Well, history repeats itself. So their sports buzz also say that they report that Arsenal think about selling Leno after national player probably loses regular place. This is the news from Germany that is coming along. So yes, it looks like Bernd Leno has officially lost his place at Arsenal regularly, and I'm pretty much sure this January and of course in the upcoming summer transfer window, I am not expecting Bernd Leno to stay at Arsenal. Well, that's what I think. That's generally not the consensus, but yeah, let's see what happens. But moving on, Mikel Arteta says to have 50,000 fans in the Carabao Cup on a Wednesday night is pretty special, and it does not happen in many places. I don't think so. It happens in any place for that matter. But let's talk about what did Arteta have to say about the game yesterday after the game actually. Well, talking about Leeds United, he said, we know how tough it's going to be. Big match about Leeds United. About Saka, Arteta says he needed to play some minutes to get some match fitness. And again, I think when we brought him on, he looked really strong. Talking about Lacazette, Arteta said yes, he was captain because he's one of our leaders and senior players. We haven't been able to play him a lot. We wanted to play him, but we had some injuries through the game and we cannot use him. But today he scored a goal and he worked hard again. Well, that was the update from Mikel Arteta after the game. But let's see how things will turn out to be. Well, was that the only thing that was really important from Mikel Arteta? Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's pushing to make Arsenal better and better. But Arsenal players after the game walked around the pitch and applauded the fans after the game at the Emirates Stadium. So I think for me, what I saw, I think Gabriel Martinelli was really good, and so was Nuno Tavares. All the Arsenal fans, even I saw on Twitter. Sad part was that there was no live stream to watch the game apart from one at China, I guess, but more importantly, it wasn't available. So the game wasn't streamed. So for some weird reasons, we don't know what was the reason, but yeah, let's see if that's going to be happening again in the next fourth round or not. But let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about. All right. So it looks like there's a report coming from Tom Parsons. He says that Arsenal could sign their very own Gareth Bale, and in terms of Gareth Bale, it looks like they might end up getting someone named, of course, a familiar name before in Felipe Coutinho. Well, Barcelona are ready to send him out on loan to not give him any game time. Well, that is the case apparently. So it looks like the Catalans are in dire strait financially, and according to Calcio Mercato, he could depart on loan. Like Bale, Coutinho enjoyed a very good spell in the Premier League, but he also went to Bayern Munich. I think he was decent in Bayern, but more importantly, Bayern Munich, if they don't feel it right, they just don't go for the player anymore. So moving on, according to, of course, as we spoke about Calcio Mercato, here's another report from HITC, which also suggests how Arsenal are actually they need to really strengthen their motive if they're even thinking of getting Onana, because Napoli are really in to get Onana. If Arsenal are in the midst, well, the price tag is really low in terms of what Ajax want, but more importantly, you could get him for free. The big question is, will Arsenal get him for free? And that is the main question. Moving on is a report from Patrick Austin Hardy. Arsenal icon Nigel Winterburn has spoken Arsenal transfer target not to join Arteta's side, and the player that is in question is Yves Bisuma. What did Nigel Winterburn had to say? He says, I don't want to be arrogant, but it's me because in my head I'm working to be the best. So I cannot say another name. I know in the Premier League there are so many good midfielders, but for me, it's me because that gives me the confidence and the energy to work hard to show people I'm here and I am Bisuma. However, Winterburn does not feel the same. Winterburn says, I've seen Yves Bisuma play quite a few times. He's a good player, but I don't think I've ever been confident enough to come out and make that bold of a statement about a player. Is Bisuma even big or good enough for a top 4 team? Looking at the current top 4, he'd find himself on the bench a fair amount. One thing that is in his favor, though, is he has no shortage in self-confidence. Winterburn says Bisuma probably won't go to Arsenal given who they have signed unless the club wants to change things up further. I've been impressed with Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga will be superb given what we've seen so far. Arsenal has Thomas Partey too. They need another player potentially, but then he'll be fighting for the position. So I think Nigel has made a fantastic point. Yves Bisuma to Arsenal only makes sense if he's ready to fight for his spot. Moving on, it looks like Arsenal could move for Ivan Toney. Yes, they're looking for a striker, and Ivan Toney might be in the midst. Well, Team Talk reported in March that Arsenal had shown an interest to sign Ivan Toney. He could fit the bill for Edu, who was also interested in bringing Toney to Arsenal before Brentford won promotion. Lacazette and Nketiah out, so it could be Toney that could come in. But let's see how it's going to be, because Brentford midfielder Christian Norgard has been quoted as saying that Tony is earning Drogba comparisons. He says, I heard someone in the changing room comparing Ivan with Didier Drogba. I think he looked a bit like him. Actually, the way he kept the ball, his first touch and his passes, he won every single header and he's the right kind of player. Let's see how things will turn out. Will Arsenal actually sign him? Only time will tell. With this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you see daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing. And hey, we won, ladies and gentlemen.